of things and local things. And then at the end you will see onyx etheria, because we have some local volcanic stones like sultanite, turquoise, a kind of onyx, black onyx, white onyx. There's an etheria we will visit, and then you have a chance to see showroom. Yes, right now we are at the crossroad of Ürgün on the right. You have a chance to see some caves right now after the hill. These belong to the Christian Greek people till the end of 1920s. The Christians started to come to Anatolia from Antiochia to Cappadocia and to Izmir, Ephesus, in 2nd century, and they lived in this place, also in this city, till the end of 1920s. After 1920, after our independence war, European countries and Turkey made a decision to exchange the people for population exchange. And that's why right now they are living in Gerveni, which is the city in Bulgaria, and they are living in Castoria, which is the city in Greece. And all the Muslims and Turks had to come back to Turkey at that time. But the process was too long. It started around like 1870s, and the official decision was in 1924, and it was ended in 1960s. Before this time, 70-75% of people were Christians in here. We have some places like this. In Istanbul, the European side of Istanbul, it's called Sultanahmet right now. And in Izmir, Smyrna, Ephesus, maybe you have seen Pamukkale, Cotton Castle, Hierapolis. And in Cappadocia, Ürgün and Sinassos. And some cities in east part of Turkey. And some cities in Black Sea. These are the cities for the, these are the centers for the Christians before 1920s. And now you see some different rocks and formations. Yeah, it is called three graces, three beauties it was called. And now you see the different rocks on the left in white color, yellow color, red color. We have two volcanic mountains in this region. The first one is in Kayseri Airport. It was called Argeus around like 1500 years ago. It means monster with 40 eyes. Right now we are calling Erciyes. And there is one more. If you have a chance today, in clean air, we have a chance to see the second one, Hasan Mountain. These are volcanic mountains, stratovolcanoes. They are sleeping right now. The last eruption was around like second century before Christ. These volcanoes make the eruptions, and in the region we have some calderas, lava exits, made the eruptions around like 10 or 15 million years ago. And that's why you see some different altitudes, like on the right, Red Valley. And you have a chance to see Uçhisar, which means the castle at the top, and Ortahisar, now we see on the left. Because of these volcanic eruptions, we have some rock formations. It's called fairy chimney, because the people thought that supernatural powers made the shapes and lived in the underground cities, and that's why they thought just maybe genies and fairies made the triangle shapes, and that's why it's called fairy chimney. And with the erosion, with rain, degree differences from night and day, and also winter conditions, summer conditions, started to make some erosion on the rocks, and that's why we have some triangle shapes, fairy chimney formations. Kuyu means well. We have some deep wells in the region, and that's why the people gave a name like Derin Kuyu for this village. And this is the simple map of this underground city. And the idea is coming from Hittite period. The people started to make some inner tunnels between the villages, and in wartime, for their families, they carved some big tunnels to reach another village in a sacred way. And time after time, after 2nd century, the Christians, Orthodox Christians, started to make some wider underground cities after the tunnels. Because Christianity was not an official religion at that time, and the Romans didn't accept the Christianity till the end of 5th century, till the end of Constantine and Hellenic period. And the people needed more space at the ground. Normally they were living in the caves like this. You see some example stills on your right. And in wartime they used inner tunnels and they reached the underground. It is around like 8 kilometers square and around like 4,000 people could fit on this underground city. We have 8 floors. You have a chance to see the first floor for the animals. They use it, and then they carved some rooms, monasteries, and some kind of food storage. It goes like 90 meters. And there are some wells like this because we need air and water. And there's a system for air. Cold air goes down, hot air goes up. They use this system from the ventilation shafts. It goes to everywhere, and they got water from the deep side of the wells, and they use that. Till the end of 18th century, it was used for security reasons, and then it was changed to a kind of food storage because always it's cool, 13 centigrade degrees. And in 1975, we changed the area to a museum. We will start from the right side, and after 4th floor, we use the tunnels and we go like this with the stairs. It all depends on your choice. All right. If it is okay, you can come with me. If it is not, you can go out. All right. Let's go.
What do you think?
This is the first exercise of the day.
Um,
Go ahead.
I see why you stumbled.
First, that's a lot of friends.
Because in 2008, History Channel made a documentary about the underground cities.
This one.
Yes,
With
and
genies.
yeah. They told that hobbits. It's a kind of alternative story about the underground city. I told some stories.
Can we go back?
I made it. I made a tour with one group from Kuwait, and they sent a message to the agency, email, and they said that the guide took us to the underground city, but we didn't have a chance to see any kind of genies inside of the underground. Yes.
Dang it.
Thank God. Because if we see a genie, we're not
Well, like you
seeing
know.
our lives, huh? The same way. Please watch your steps. All right, this is the first floor. Yes, please. Sometimes they didn't have a chance to get from their houses, and especially in the tunnel side, you see some small holes like this side by side. I think that was the way for finding the directions, because when there is no sunlight or no light, it takes around like 10 minutes to recognize anything in here. This is the kitchen, and the second part is you see
여기서 자세히 설명하겠습니다. 인터넷 works. 사람들은
This is a dish machine.
했는데 낮에 말고
the water comes from this way, and grape is famous in our region. From grape you can make molasses, you can make wine, and you can make vinegar. And with water and vinegar they clean the dishes in this pool. I said this one needs the water, and that's why the people use, you see, they use a waterproof plaster on the ground. They collected the water in here, with vinegar they cleaned their dishes. And there are some food storages. Now we use the normal tunnel first. Now I will take you to the second floor. Watch your steps. There are some holes on the ground.
상승이 연결. 남은 사람들도 연결 터널에서 다른 샤도를 피하서. 타임 동안 계속 피하서. 저번 뒤에 약 정리에
Just realized that's not the most flattering angle. Sorry.
You should use compass or something to find your direction, because you know with the sunlight you can understand which is west, which is east, but there was no chance. But this one is a kind of trap. It goes like this with the holes for the candles. But 40 meters later there was nothing on the wall. It's all, you know, I think they use as dark, and there is a hole in the middle. It goes around like 50, 60 meters deep. And there are some holes like this for the spears or lenses. It was a trap. You know, it goes like a, you know, it seems like another gallery goes like that, but it was a trap. And on the other side, on the right wall, you see a big stone door, which is around like 600 kilograms. Let's see, because you'll see more and more on the way. Yes. Getting a fresh air. You see the sunlight comes to the wall, and this one is a kind of channel of the ventilation shaft for getting a fresh air. When you come here, you feel, and it was a shortcut to reach upstairs. You see? Yeah.
How would they climb up?
They jumped. Yeah. They used Superman or Batman. Yeah. Cracks, fault lines on the wall, like this. And when they were coming this part, they stopped on the left wing. Left wing is unfinished, you understand? This is, you know, around like 1.5 meters, and this one around like 3 meters. They stopped because they faced one big fault line goes like this. And that's why it's unfinished. And there is no chance to see the paintings on the wall because it has humid. Just they carved some reliefs, Maltese crosses or Latin crosses. There is a frame, but the cross is gone. Every time they carved church, missionary school or monastery at the deepest part, because deepest part was the safest part. Now we use the same way to go up. That's why I'm saying this is the first exercise. In every floor you see the stone door on the left. The people close the doors, and the Christians wanted to hide themselves till the end of, I think, 5th century. After 5th, there was a peacetime, and Constantine and Eleni, we call Istanbul Constantinopolis after 5th. And it means, you know, it means in English constantly, by the way. Constantinopolis, the city of Constantine. And the Theodosius wanted to make the decision, but he died. And then Constantine and Eleni made the decision, and they accepted the Christianity as official. And then the people used the normal way to live. But after that, the people hide it themselves at the underground. But it is written in the guidebooks. They lived in the underground cities all the lifetime. It is impossible. Just think the COVID-19 process. We got D vitamins from the pharmacies. We are addicted to get D vitamin from the sun. it's impossible to live in the underground more than 2 months. All right, just in war period, they use the underground, and they use iron tools. I think you have jade rooms in the hotels, and these are the lines for the iron tools. But before, in ancient period, like in Hittites period, the people used flint stones for carving the rooms. It took a long time. Now, I will take you to the last part. And I don't know why, but I think the people had to use some places for the bodies, and then they transferred the bodies to outside. Sometimes they made a war inside of the underground city. And this is the graveyard, and on the other side, let's see. There is a cross. There is nothing on the left at the entrance, but in here, there is a cross, you see? I think the people divided the bodies. You know, the Christians, people use for this way for the Christians, and for the Romans or enemies, they use that way. And now, we will see the last part. This is a short tunnel to see the deepest part of the ventilation shaft. You want to look at it? Yeah. There are some few steps. I will wait for you because the groups are coming down. It's a tiny room. Şimdi bunlardan sonra siz girersiniz. Bu kadar küçük. Burada çok küçük. 5 kişi giriyorlar.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Oh, is that the one we saw? Yeah, it's like you can't see now all the way to the bottom.
In the guidebooks, this place is used for confession or wailing wall. There is a, half circle. It was a good design for using a kind of confession, place for confession, but again, we should think simple. There is a fault line, comes up like this, and the master stopped in here for carving because it can be collapsed, the last floor. And that's why the master made a half circle for building the one column like this, and they stopped. But they're telling that it's a place for, confession or wailing wall, but the Orthodox Christians live in this place. And in Orthodoxy, there are no traditions like this. Alright. Just, they wanted to make more, but they had to stop because of the cracks. Right. And there is one dried well. With this one, the depth is going like around 120 meters for this underground city. It goes 40 meters more. It is dried right now. Right.
Ama çok susadım ya.
Yes.
Yağıyor mu?
Around like maybe 3,000 or 4,000 people. It is written in the boards, 30,000, 40,000. It is a big number. One stadium can go down to the underground city. Just again, we should think simple. We meet for lunch maybe 30,000 potatoes or tomatoes. There was no place for food stores like this, and up to 6 people could live in this place. There are some food storages, shortcut to reach the 5th floor again from the other side, and sitting area. And all the time they carve the room like this. I think for their children, or maybe it's a kind of place for bedroom here. And there are some holes like this for making a connection in the rooms. I'm calling this one free Wi-Fi. You can hear the voices of the groups right now. It's coming. Yeah, from the downstairs. Yes. Ancient iPhone the first. All right. Let's use the last tunnel. There are some stone doors over there. You see. Yeah. All right. Do you have any questions about the underground life? What about toilets? We didn't see any, example of the toilet. They didn't have a chance to use a toilet because there should be a kind of drain system, pipe system for, water. And that's why the people use potteries. And they threw it out. They big jars, they use it and they threw it out. And no private life, just they wanted to, defend their lives in the underground. And this is the place for their animals. Actually, the stairs are not original. It was deeper than that. That was the way to get the camel and horse in here. And this ground was deeper than this. I said, it's getting, humid, and also it's getting down layer by layer. 5 centimeters, 10 centimeters.
Naturally?
Yes.
Every year.
But now we are using a kind of, plaster right now for you, for the guests. But in the other parts, it's getting down. It was deeper than that, and that was the way to get the camel. And here's the tiny area you see, and place for food, for big one, for tiny one, for sheep and goat. This is the place. See, over there. And there are 2 more tunnels. The left one goes to missionary school. It is not original. They found the room and also they made a renovation at there. And they used a table because we have open air museum at Göreme. There are some dining tables and it goes to some kind of chapels. They use the plan of this just for taking the attention for the guests. And the second one is winery. There are some pools for grapes and they smashed the grapes and they got the grape juice and made a fermentation up to 6 or 9 months for producing red wine. Because the weather conditions are good for making a wine in here. Wine is holy because it is written in Luca Bible. Jesus Christ said that wine is my blood. And also wine is a kind of, I think, antidepressant. When you're hiding yourself in here, you can drink wine. Yeah, I don't drink, but the people can drink. This is the wine. You can take some nice pictures in here. This is and upstairs.
Biz geldik bekliyoruz.
Yes. 11:25. We'll meet at upstairs 11:40. All right, then we drive to see Lara Valley. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah. Yes, yeah. In upstairs on the left. Use this tunnel on the left. Yeah. Yes. On the left.
Is this the animals still again?
I think so.
2, 4, 6, 7.
Let's sit over there in a few minutes. They'll get your picture in the...
found the real name. Real name is Saint Daniel, Saint Daniel Church. It has a cross plan, but the wing is gone because of the cracks. And the picture is up there. Saint Daniel with 3 lions. According to a legend, Saint Daniel accepted Christianity, but the Roman soldiers got him to one well with 3 lions. But lions didn't touch him, according to a legend. And that's why all the time Daniel depicted with 3 lions. I use my flashlight just for a second. You see the heads of the lions and the hand of Daniel, you see? All the time you see some damages, scratches. There are so many stories about that. When you see, but still we are living in this situation in Hagia Sophia, because Hagia Sophia is changed to a mosque right now. Everybody has a chance to get inside. And some of the Orthodox people believe that when they get the pieces of the secco, it is called secco, dry painting, it gives them a kind of infinity, holy thing. And that's why the people got the pieces. And also there are some graffitis like 1897, 1874. It's going like this. Because, you know, there was a population exchange period. And the people write some wishes about the Christianity. And it was open to everybody. We didn't have a chance to protect the area. And that's why we have lost some parts and some writings on the wall in Greek and in Turkish. Alright. It's telling the story about the saints, about the Jesus Christ, like on the left wing. This is the scene of rebirth of Lazarus. The people wanted to give the details about the Jesus Christ life to the people. And it's all natural colors. They got this color, yellow color from saffron. They got, you know, green color from the rocks. And they got blue color from lapis stone. There was no chance to get a lapis stone in our country. And the people made a trade with the people who came from Pakistan. And they got a lapis stone from them. And they made a blue sky. We have no chance to see the blue sky. It was so expensive to make the pictures, and that's why they accepted many donators. To get the money, you know, with the money, you know, they started to use the pictures like this. And it is called, you hear, maybe tomorrow we won't be together, but you hear some words like fresco. There are some 3 paintings. The first one is this one, secco, dry painting. Thin plaster, and then they put the paintings on. It's called secco in Italian language. It means dry painting. The second one is fresco. We don't have a chance to see in our country fresco. When you go to Italy in Sistine Chapel, you have a chance to see fresco. It seems like a picture. And the last one is mosaics. You go back to Istanbul, you have a chance to visit Santa Sofia, you see mosaics. This is the last one. And people used gold for making a color, like yellow like this. All the time you see Jesus Christ in the middle. He is holding a Bible and he is making the position of this. It means, you know, consecrated, Father God and Holy Spirit.
I'm waiting for you.
Alright, Yunus Group, okay, we are going out. And actually the ground was deeper than that because of the rain and weather conditions. It, you know, the rocks fell down and the soil made a new layer. This side is going to food storage. This side is going to kitchen. You have seen on the left. It is like a complex, not a, you know, simple church. tiny kids right now. 6, 4, and 1. third battery of the day.
What's that?
Third or fourth?
Third.
Third.
Got one more after this.
Yeah, one more. Yeah. All right. Yes, we have one more floor, but in Turkish, it has 8 corners, octagonal plan. Before Ottomans, they were the Turks. They were called Selçukians. Made a huge empire in the middle of Anatolia. And Ali Pasha and Selime Hatun, Miss Selime and Ali Pasha, General Ali, were killed by the Mongolians in 15th century in this place. They lost their lives in this village, and the Selçukian soldiers made a graveyard in octagonal plan. It has a meaning, it means infinity. Because body stays on the grave, spirit goes to, anywhere else in the world. And that's why the people used octagonal plan. And the name Selime is coming from this story. That was the monastery for the Christians before the Turks. And there was an entrance, but it is gone because of the cracks. You can understand, because of the weather conditions. There were some kind of caves like this, it goes. And there is one more on your next. It's called Yaprak Hisar in Turkish. These were the cathedrals for the Christians. But then the Turks got the control of Anatolia and they started to change the area to Karavansaray. Have you heard about this before? Karavansaray? It's a kind of hotel. Because Anatolia was in the middle of Silk Road and the people stayed. The Selçukians used that as a kind of trick to host more traders in here. We used the caravan roads for the camels. That was the kitchen, but before it was used as a stable for horses and camels. You see, same like in the underground cities, there are some tiling areas one by one. They got the camels in this room, and they used the way to reach 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th floor. They stayed in this caravansaray. There is a nice view, and the river, the same river, Melendez River, comes from Ihlara. They got water from that side. And the locals, Turkish villagers, were living in the caves till the end of 1980s. And Aksaray municipality changed the area, a kind of heritage park, and the people transferred to main village. You see the new houses on your next. And there is one more story about Star Wars.
That's what I thought.
Upstairs, yes.
That's what I kept thinking.
Yeah. You know Star Wars series, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you a story about the 4th one, Star Wars A New Hope. Alright, let's see. Evet. Büyüklerden mi? Then we jump.
Yeah.
When you skip this part, it seems like another planet. I'm waiting for the girls and family. Yep. Alright. Star Wars A New Hope. In 1977, it was the first movie, and then they made the 3 more before this movie. And right now it is 4th one. The director was going to make the movie in here in 1977, but there was a crisis between racists and communists in our country. The Turkish government didn't give a permission for making a movie in here. But he got the photos of this angle, and he took the group to Tunisia, and they made the movie at there. But the idea of the triangle houses came from this area. And Unfortunately, some of the local agencies are selling the tickets about this green line, Star Wars panorama, and all the Chinese guests came to see Star Wars movie. And missionary school, and when you use this bridge, you'll see church, chapel, and cathedral side by side. The entrance part is gone. It's free to get some videos and pictures.
Okay.
I will give